Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2024 movie titled Armor. Please be advised that there will be spoilers ahead. In the opening scene, we are introduced to a man waking up from his sleep. His name is James, a former police captain. Now, he works as a driver for an armored truck delivering money from one bank to another. After drinking his coffee and getting ready, James goes to church to pray before starting his day. 30 minutes later, James meets his son, Michael, who is waiting for him with the armored truck. Michael also works at the same company and always joins James on his deliveries. Together, they make a great team, transporting money safely between banks. On the way to their first stop, Michael talks about his wife, who is about to have a baby. James is overjoyed to hear this because it means he will soon become a grandfather. It's clear that James lives alone now since Michael's mother passed away a long time ago in a car accident. Despite the sadness in his past, James feels excited about the new chapter in his life. When they arrive at the bank, James and Michael start loading boxes filled with money into their truck. While working, James notices one box feels extra heavy, making it hard for Michael to lift. But, following company rules, they can't complain to the bank or open any of the boxes. After loading everything into the truck, they head home to rest. Since it's already late afternoon, the money will be delivered to the next destination the following morning. On the way home, Michael invites James to stay at his house, as it's been a while since James visited. James agrees and goes with Michael. At Michael's house, they enjoy dinner together with Michael's wife, who is about to have a baby. While eating, Michael's wife asks if they're ever scared of being robbed while delivering money. Michael smiles and reassures her that their truck is an armored one, so robbers can't break into it. At the same time, the scene shifts to a group of robbers gathering at their hideout. Their leader, a man named Rook, is planning to rob the armored truck James and Michael drive. Rook carefully goes over the plan with his team and then tells everyone to rest, because they'll carry out their big mission the next day. Early in the morning, before delivering the money, James and Michael went to the bank that hired them. At the bank, James asked the manager about the heavy box, wondering if it wasn't just money inside. The manager told James not to worry about it and simply deliver the box to the bank in the next city. Not wanting to argue, James and Michael started their journey to deliver all the boxes. As they drove, James couldn't stop feeling nervous. He kept telling Michael that he was worried about the heavy box. James was scared it might contain something illegal or even a bomb that could hurt them. Michael tried to calm him down, saying that if it was something dangerous, it wasn't their fault cause they were just delivering it. Still, James felt uneasy and had a bad feeling about it. A little while later, James noticed something strange in the truck's side mirror. A black car with dark windows had been following them for several kilometers at first. James tried to convince himself it was just a coincidence, but his instincts as a former police captain told him otherwise. To test it, James sped up the truck, hoping the car would stop following. Instead, the black car stayed right behind them, keeping the same distance as if it was watching their every move. James felt uneasy and signaled Michael to stay alert. The tension grew when the black car suddenly sped up and crashed into the back of their truck. The truck shook violently, almost making Michael lose control. At that moment, James realized they were being targeted by bad people and this wasn't a coincidence. Sensing the danger, James pressed the gas pedal hard, trying to escape. Then, a thrilling chase began as they raced to get away from the black car. During the chase, James told Michael to call their office or the police for help, but their phones didn't work cause the robbers had jammed their signals. James did his best to outrun the robbers, but no matter how hard he tried, the truck was chased onto an old bridge. In the middle of the bridge, James had to stop. A car was blocking the road ahead and when he tried to reverse, another car blocked them from behind. They were trapped with no way to escape. Then, Rook and his gang stepped out of their cars. They started shooting at James and Michael's armored truck. Luckily, the truck was super strong and none of the bullets could get through. Frustrated, one of Rook's men fired a missile at the truck, causing it to flip over. Even though the truck was upside down, James and Michael were okay and managed to crawl out. As soon as they got out, Rook and his gang started shooting at them again. Michael was shaking with fear since he had never been in such a dangerous situation, but James, being a former police captain, stayed calm and told Michael to stay brave. James fought back and managed to take down two of Rook's men, but things got worse when Michael was shot in the arm. James quickly shielded him and led him back to the truck's storage compartment. It was the only safe place to hide. Once inside, James locked the compartment from the inside, keeping Rook and his gang from getting to them. Inside the truck, James quickly treated Michael's injured arm. He told Michael to be brave because the treatment might hurt a little. Meanwhile, Rook was left with only 3 men, as James had already taken care of 2 of them. Rook was starting to panic, trying to figure out how to open the armored truck's compartment. Finally, Rook tried to make a deal. He shouted that he wouldn't hurt James and Michael if they opened the door, but James refused, knowing it was just a trick. While this was happening, James became curious about the heavy box they were carrying. He decided to open it, and inside he found shiny gold bars worth millions of dollars. James quickly realized the robbers weren't after the money, because they wanted the gold. Now he needed to think fast about how to escape. At the same time, one of Rook's men, growing impatient, lit a tear gas canister and brought it close to the truck. Thick smoke started filling the air, aiming to force James and Michael out. But James, staying calm like the experienced police captain he once was, immediately spotted the danger. He told Michael to close all the air vents and seal them with cloth and anything they could find. Even though Michael was nervous, he followed James's instructions quickly. Thanks to their quick actions, only a little bit of the tear gas got inside, and the compartment stayed mostly safe. James's clever thinking kept them out of serious trouble for now. 10 minutes later, one of Rook's men was certain James and Michael wouldn't last much longer. But just then, James shouted from inside the truck, saying it wasn't easy to beat a former police captain. He declared that the gold bars they were after would never be theirs. James promised to protect the gold with his life, because he took his job seriously. Hearing this, Rook grew more frustrated, knowing their bullets and bombs couldn't break into the armored truck. Finally, Rook ordered one of his men to bring out a drill, thinking it was their only chance to open the compartment. While this was happening, James's mind wandered to a painful memory about the day his wife passed away. Back then, James had planned a camping trip with his wife and Michael, who was still a teenager, to spend quality time together as a family. What should have been a happy trip turned into a tragedy when a car swerved dangerously on the road ahead, causing chaos and heartbreak. As a police captain at the time, James felt it was his duty to act when he saw the out-of-control car. Even though his wife and Michael begged him to ignore it so they could enjoy their family trip, James couldn't stand by. He explained that his actions were to keep others safe from the reckless driver. James managed to stop the car and discovered the driver was drunk. After giving the driver a serious warning, James returned to his family's car, hoping they could continue their trip. But the decision to intervene would forever change their lives. Not long after they continued their trip, disaster struck. A speeding truck crashed hard into the back of their car. The impact was so powerful that their car flipped over several times on the road. In just seconds, everything turned into chaos. The accident took the life of James's wife instantly, leaving a deep sadness in both James and Michael's hearts. Even though James and Michael survived physically, the tragic event changed their lives forever, leaving emotional scars that would never fully heal. Back in the present, Rook and his gang were still drilling into James's armor truck. At the same time, James came up with an idea. He spotted a bottle of alcohol nearby and decided to use it. Quietly, James slipped out through a small side window, lit the alcohol on fire, and threw the burning bottle at the robbers who were using the drill. The explosion damaged the drill and even injured one of Rook's men. James quickly climbed back into the truck through the side window. One of Rook's men tried to shoot at the window, but because it was made of steel, the bullets couldn't get through. Frustrated, another one of Rook's men, named Smoke, started firing wildly at the truck, hoping to break through. But one of his teammates stopped him, warning that wasting bullets like that wouldn't help and could even backfire, putting them all in danger. There, Rook tried to calm Smoke down and suggested they leave the scene. Rook admitted that their mission had failed, they couldn't open the armored truck, and the police were likely on their way. At first, Smoke agreed and started heading to their car. But suddenly, Smoke turned on Rook, attacking him and one of their teammates because he was still determined to get the gold. Smoke then jumped into his car and rammed it into James's truck, trying to push it into the river. He believed that sinking the truck would force James to give up and open the compartment. However, Smoke's car wasn't powerful enough to move the truck any farther. Refusing to quit, Smoke grabbed a missile and used it to knock James's truck into the river. The truck plunged into the water with James and Michael still inside. As the truck sank, James quickly opened the side window and worked to get Michael out. But trouble struck when a heavy metal box fell on Michael's leg, trapping him. Michael told his dad to leave him behind and save himself, but James refused to give up. He kept trying to move the box, determined to save his son no matter what. In the end, James managed to free the heavy box from Michael's leg and quickly pulled him out of the truck. Using all his strength, James swam to the lake's edge while carrying Michael. Just as they reached the shore, Smoke appeared out of nowhere and attacked James. Then, a fierce fight broke out between them. When Smoke was about to finish off James, a gunshot rang out. Smoke fell, and James looked up to see Rook standing there, holding a gun. Rook had survived because he was wearing a bulletproof vest when Smoke tried to shoot him earlier. Now, Rook had gotten his revenge on Smoke for turning against him. James helped Michael up, and they climbed back onto the bridge where they met Rook. Rook told James he wouldn't harm them as long as James promised not to tell the police about his role in the robbery. With no other choice, James agreed and hurriedly took Michael away from the scene. Once they were gone, Rook went back down to the truck to claim the gold bars. Feeling triumphant, Rook smiled, knowing he didn't have to share the treasure with anyone. Now, all the gold belonged to him alone. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.